Ahoy VC, welcome to the Personal Oasis. This is the Blind Island, and today we are going to be continuing it on to the top 100 favorite albums of all time list. Again, this is favorite, not necessarily what I think are the greatest or most artistic of all time. And I'm really looking forward to getting into this. We're cracking the top 40, so from here on out, numbers truly are arbitrary. It's love fest all around, so let's dive into it. At number 40, I have Echo and the Bunnymen's Ocean Rain. This is one of my favorite albums of the 1980s. The lush string arrangements that are surrounding Ian McCulloch's vocal delivery is just gorgeous, creating a transcendental listen. It has twinges of 60s raga psychedelia throughout, and it's woven into the fabric of the album. Also, I noticed that it consistently vacillates between a bright, sunny, atmospheric pop to dark, brooding undertones with basically flirting with sounds like The Doors' The End. It's an incredible record, one of my absolute favorites, and it's one that everyone should have in their collection. At number 39, I have Andrew Belle's Black Bear. This is a watershed moment for this particular artist. Before this album, he had been known as kind of a singer-songwriter who dealt primarily in acoustic songwriting material. His songs have been featured on Grey's Anatomy and things of that nature, very emotionally overwrought. However, and while I love his first album, The Ladder, this record was created after basically a long dark night of the soul, and Andrew Belle looked deep at his music and wanted to see what more that he could bring to the table after listening to bands like M83, Big Chouse, and James Blake. He decided to take his sound in a completely new and different direction, filled with synth and just washed over production. It is a completely gorgeous synth pop album. It creates a dense, rich sonic landscape over very strong emotional lyrics that causes the listener to just be completely washed away in one single listen. Fantastic album, highly worth checking out. At number 38, I have Sly and the Family Stone, There's a Riot Going On. Recorded during a time when Sly was really diving deep into alcohol and drugs. He was getting lost to his addictions and vices, and that comes across on the songwriting and production value on this album. Gone are the days of celebrations and togetherness and staying stalwart in the fight. He has given up, and he is diving deep within himself. Songs like basically Love and Hate, feels so good inside myself, don't want to move. Basically just saying that it feels better to dive deeper into the cacophonous cavern of hedonistic narcissism than try to change the world. And this basically sounded the death knell of that 60s feel-good soul funk. And honestly, it never sounded so good. This is a phenomenal album and should be in everybody's collection. At number 37, I have Johnny Cash, live at Folsom State Prison. This is the greatest, if not one of the greatest live recordings of all time. Johnny Cash 100% has captured the imagination and rapport of the prisoners that are in Folsom State Prison. He literally embodies the lyrics and the characters that he sings about during this set, with songs like Stripes, Cocaine, Folsom Prison Blues, and even just even the heartache of Send a Picture of Mother, or Give My Love to Rose. There's just it's phenomenal. Everything about this album, it is Johnny Cash at the height of his powers, completely sucking in his audience, and he completely transforms the way that we view an artist interacting with an audience. One of the greatest live albums of all time, and should be in everybody's collection. And at number 36, I have Aphrodite's Child 666. This is an interpretation of John's revelation found within the Bible, and to be frank, is the greatest interpretation of a biblical text I have ever heard. It is full of strange, weird, cacophonous sounds that reflect directly the fantastical images that are found within that biblical text. It was initially conceived as a concept album in which the first half of the album is a circus that they're telling about these apocalyptic images, and the second half is when that apocalypse actually comes to be. You can't really follow the thread of the storyline too well throughout the album, so it fails in that regard, but ultimately the music and capturing just how truly strange Revelation is as a book, it succeeds wildly. And while often labeled as a prog album, I would say that this more leans towards experimental avant-garde rock and just a complete whirlwind. It is amazing how it has so many different ideas and so many different sounds, yet coalesces into such a perfect record. This is definitely a challenging album and not for the faint listener. It's not one that I would recommend throwing on at parties, but if you're looking for a deep, introspective listen, this is the record that I would highly, highly recommend. So guys, what did you think of the album picks in this section? Did you recognize anything? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below, and I hope that you have a great day on your own personal oasis. Cheers.